Thank you for smoking. I'm Simon Rafe, and I'm taking the hard line. Welcome back to Hardline, the show where lies and falsehoods are your fault. I'm your host, Simon Rafe, and joining me later will be my producer, Joe Enders, and after that, I'll be having a gentleman's chat with David Noosman. The noose will be loose. But for now, thank you for smoking. I don't mean that literally, of course. I am not literally thanking you for smoking. I don't own any shares in tobacco companies, Zippo lighters, or even snack food manufacturers. I benefit nothing if you decide to smoke. If you do it in proximity to me, I probably actually suffer a bit because I have to inhale your secondhand smoke, which is vile because it is both smoke and secondhand. Tobacco is addictive, toxic, nauseating, and just generally socially unacceptable. If you want to smoke, that is your choice, but I would advise against it. I'm certainly not taking the position that smoking is some kind of countercultural activity against the woke mainstream, and therefore a good Catholic should do it. It's not. It's just addictive, toxic, nauseating, generally socially unacceptable, and also ridiculously expensive. Of course, a lot of Catholic personalities make a lot of their smoking. Usually it's cigars and pipes. It's not them sneaking a crafty one from a pack of Pall Malls on a 5-minute break tucked in a windy corner of their office building. It's a whole show, a performance, chomping on a cigar like Winston Churchill or puffing on a pipe like G.K. Chesterton. There is a whole world there, a whole thing to be unpacked, and I'm not even going to start. I am not thanking you for smoking. It's a pop culture reference. It's a reference to the satirical but surprisingly informative movie Thank You for Smoking, which follows Big Tobacco's chief spokesman as he lobbies on behalf of cigarettes. In a pivotal scene of the movie, the spokesman explains to his son how he goes about his job. He has to promote cigarettes, and a lot of the time that involves arguments and debates with someone who does not like cigarettes, is opposed to cigarettes, someone who might be part of the moral majority against cigarettes or even dying of lung cancer, and so is immovably against cigarettes. How can you persuade someone of your position when they are so against it? Well, one might decide to not debate such people, and that is a good tactic. I've said as much here on Hardline. Don't waste your time trying to convince people who can't be convinced. Don't waste your time with people who are utterly opposed to Christianity, people who are absolutely stuck in their ways. Might you be able to change such a person's mind? Perhaps, but it might take hours, days, weeks, months, or even years. And of course, one soul is worth all of that. But how many more people could you reach if you chose people more open to it? People of goodwill, people who are curious, people who are more neutral and not actively enemies of Christianity. And of course, it might be that you, personally, individually, you might not be able to easily evangelize someone, but someone else might be able to reach them very simply. And vice versa, of course. We should choose our evangelization targets carefully so as to maximize our effort and achieve the best result we can. This is simple prudence, who is the queen of the virtues. But it's not always possible. It is a fact, because of the contrarian flavor of human nature, that the people willing to debate with you will often, in truth, be people opposed to Christianity. This is especially true for public debates. A person willing to debate is often eager for debate because they hold a viewpoint utterly opposed to yours and they like the intellectual exercise, or they are looking for a chance to slap you down and make you look like a tomfool and your position look like something a tomfool would believe. Today's public debates are most often had on social media via our smartphones, which are, lest we forget, a device which we keep in our pocket, which allows us access to the sum total of human knowledge, but which we use to look at pictures of cats and get into pointless arguments with strangers. Pointless arguments, take note of that, because these arguments are generally pointless. They don't convince your interlocutor, they just encourage a lack of charity, and they usually don't change anyone's mind. They are, on the face of it, a waste of time. But they are perhaps the only option we have. Certainly, they are easy to find, and even if you try to avoid them, you might find yourself in the middle of one. So how do you use them? How do you effectively evangelize with them? Well, first of all, you need to keep a real check on your temper and make sure you aren't falling into a lack of charity. This is just a basic rule we should apply to all things, so I won't belabor it. We should be polite, not falling into insults, not succumbing to logical fallacies or ad hominem attacks. But you know this. What don't you know? Well, thank you for watching Hardline. If you're enjoying the show, please go to churchmilitant.com for the whole episode. You must be a premium member. So to sign up, go to churchmilitant.com/go premium.